The other thing that I would change about the Bible is that I would put in tarot cards. One, because they're really, really cool. Two, because they are beautiful. I happen to collect them. I do. I have tons and tons and tons of different styles. Because I'm an artist and I like art. If you haven't noticed by my screen name, I love art. I do. And I have tons of cards, different decks, and I would just fill the Bible with different tarot cards. Each page would be a different card, and not really its meaning, because I think it's kind of irrelevant, because you interpret them the way that you want, regardless. You interpret everything the way that you want, whether you're conscious of it or not. And two, just simply because on each page you see something beautiful, as opposed to smite this, kill that, have a word with this kind of rhetoric. But these I wanted to share with you guys, because I know you're bored with all my other stuff. These are major arcana of my Paris Tarot. This one is called the Source, and it would be the equivalent of our Big Bang, or Christian's equivalent to God. It's pretty much the what from which everything came. Keep in mind, I don't really follow them, I just love the artwork. Is it not beautiful? Yes, it is. The Moon is also another beautiful card. Artfully done. There are the phases of the moon there at the bottom. I absolutely love it. Another one that's my favorite. Universe. I love these cards. Love them, love them, love them. So, if you're asking if I ever really do readings or things like that, I did when I first got them. I don't really anymore. I pretty much admire the artwork. This is what would be called the devil card, but in this deck it's energy, which I think makes a lot more sense. You can't blame some dude in the dirt for what you do. You did it. Own it. This one is the Tower. And it's not necessarily bad, it just means like a huge upheaval. A large amount of change in your life, something huge. And it could be good or bad, it could be different, it could just be whatever. And then this one is the question. And I love it because it's an upside down guy. I know, there's no real art rhetoric to this, just other than I think it's really, really pretty. So those are some of my favorites. In that particular deck. I have favorites in every deck. But I love how Christianity in general sort of begged, borrowed, and stole what they liked, and then demonized what they didn't like from other religions. Like in Wicca, and I study different religions, I think they're all fascinating in the way that I think the Brothers Grimm's fairy tales are fascinating, which I have that from. I love that they all, in Wicca, there's the female, the goddess, and she's seen in 3 types, so that's where the Trinity came from. Yeah, not original. Also the story of Christ's birth is an original, but that's not the point. There was a male god who was her consort, and he was all things natural and animals and things like that, and he was always depicted as the horned god, and he was always pretty much shown erect, because the point was to be the joining of these two was how things came into being, and sex was seen as very natural, and it wasn't something to be demonized or shamed. Well, the horned god ended up being transformed into the devil that we see today. Anytime that you have a depiction of the devil, he's this distorted version of the horned god from Wicca. And I think it's crazy how you take what you don't like and you demonize it and you turn it into something wholly different and completely awful. And it's never meant to be that. Also, all of our holidays, or holy days, aren't Christian. It's why, I mean, there are people out there that have no idea where the rabbit comes from in Easter, or why they hide eggs. It's pagan. Like, they have no idea what the Day of the Dead was about. Not that that's a Christian holiday, but it ended up being a very commercial one. And Christmas, well, that's a whole nother video. But yes, all of it was wholly stolen, and instead of what they did was, when they converted everyone, or tried to convert everyone, and the pagans didn't want to give up their holidays, they said, you can have your holiday, we'll just call it something different. Which is why Jesus' birth has nothing to do with a tree, which is why his resurrection has nothing to do with eggs or rabbits. Wholly different, and over time, they became other things. And humans have short memories, and I guess that's the point. Anyway, so that's all I have to say about that, I think.